Hello, good people. This is Rosey and I'm walking again. I believe as I stated on my last video, I was talking about my military time and how, friendship developed and stuff like that. And I will say this, like I said, so how I talked when I was a young kid, sometimes you might hear a little southern drawl, a little southern slang sometimes come out when I'm talking now. You may hear that. That's okay. That's me. I was also speaking about how I have friends that's been with me for quite a number of years. And I tell you, that is a good feeling to have friends back there during that time, and how you just still friends and you go through life with those people and you see their family grow up, the kids grow up, and how their marriages get better with time and age as wine, as they say. A lot of it is good. I'm not going to say you're not going to have hard times, because you are. You're going to have some trying times. You're going to have that too, but life is good in general, and I believe that, it's what you make it. Getting back to my military days, I did get married. I did have some children. The marriage didn't last. I wish it had. Unfortunately, it didn't. I wish me and my kids could have been together. Just a lot of stuff in that part. I don't need to talk about that. But if you are married, you need to try to stay married. You need to do as much as you can to try to keep that marriage. As the Bible would have it, you need to do everything you possibly can to keep your marriage. You gotta fight for that. You just can't okay, it's not working, I'm just gonna leave it. And you gotta learn to forgive. You gotta learn to trust one another. A lot of trust is broken when something happened in a marriage. A lot of trust is broken, and you need to fight to get that back. And sometimes one wants it and the other one don't want it, or it's not coming right when the other one wants it, the other one don't want it. It's a lot of things that transpire during that time. But if you can pull yourself away from one another and get your own self together, then maybe that marriage will work. It's rather hard when children go from one family to another family to another family, or people constantly entering their life and going out, and that don't need to happen. And that happened because we are trying to make ourselves happy, and that's just physically, and it's nothing mental about being happy. We destroy ourselves in the process in trying to do that. I know, because I've almost been there. That's why I'm making these videos, because I want people to know that it is difficult in trying to do some things in life. You gotta fight and be strong in whatever you do. You gotta get your own self together. You gotta learn to love yourself before you can love anybody else. And I don't advise for young people to have children right off. I don't even advise young people to get married right off. I believe they should wait a while to get a career, get an education, because when I was coming up, a lot of us didn't have college degrees. Best we could do sometimes is high school diplomas, and we can go out there and get a job, a good job. Matter of fact, now you got to have 2 years of college, and in some cases you got to have 4 years of college to get a pretty decent job. But we got those jobs, and we kept those jobs, and when we went from another job, possibly, we went to another job with work experience. And now people go to jobs just with a degree, but they don't have any work experience, and they don't even know what the job entails sometimes. But that's the way life is right now, and that's the way it revolves. Think about that before you jump out there and start doing something. And then, getting back to the marriage portion of it, man, you don't need to jump out there and get married to somebody after 6 months, knowing someone for 6 months. You don't really know that person. Know that person for a year. You really don't know that person. They said sometimes you can fall in love, immediately when you see somebody. Oh yeah, that's possibly true too, but you still don't know that person. And after 15 years, then, we just grown apart. Marriage is sacred. It's a bonding thing. You should be together until you leave this earth. That's what it's all about. And I have had some friends that have been married for over 60-some years, and one of them passes away. That's what life is all about. And they could tell you that they did not have it good all the time. They had arguments and they had disagreements, but they stayed together and they worked out their differences. And that's what life is. So I'm getting back to my military days. I stayed about 8 years in the military, and my military time was good. And I was going to re-enlist once again, but unfortunately I had someone that was racist in the military, and let me tell you, there was racism in the military during that time. And I figured that since I've already had one honorable discharge, I need to go ahead on and get out before I get a dishonorable discharge. And I did. So now I have 2 honorable discharges. I didn't do anything wrong in the military because I don't believe in doing that. I believe in trying to live an honest life. I don't like looking over my shoulder, and I don't like looking behind me all the time to see if anybody's trying to watch me or see what I'm doing. And that's why I try to live in a good way. And that's what I mean about living your life right. You don't have to look behind you all the time. You don't have to be nervous. I'm not nervous about what's behind me because there's nothing behind me. So once I got out of the military, but I come to find out that I was told that it wasn't my choice only. I was married. I believe it was best for me and my family. That's a choice I made. When I joined the military, I didn't ask nobody could I join. I just joined. Maybe I should have talked to my spouse. I didn't do that. That's been held against me all of my life. One thing I do know, you can't hold that against a person when they figure that there's something that's for them, for their family, and for the man to make that decision. I did. I turned out with a better job. I started making a lot more money, which was fine by me, but I enjoyed the military and I wanted to do 20 years. I didn't do that. My other job, I went through it for 31 years, and now I retired because my eyes wouldn't allow me to continue. That is the reason why I retired from my job at a young age. Some people don't understand that. Some people don't know what I was going through. Some people don't even know how bad my eyes was at that time. But it's okay. It's a part of life. I don't hold that against God. I don't even hold that against myself. It was just something that's happened. I will tell you about the conditions later. But as I went through my life, I learned to try to constantly do for my family. But again, here we go. Allowing myself to be manipulated by people. Call themselves my friend. It never was my friend. I did for them. I didn't reciprocate anything from them. I called late at night to go and help them. They couldn't even come over to my house during the day. They wouldn't come visit me, but they always wanted me to visit them and help them out. That's not a friend. A friend is a friend in need, is a friend indeed. You don't help a friend to commit a bad crime. You help a friend get out of a bad situation. You help a friend through his trying issues when he's having marital problems. You try to help him keep his marriage and saving his marriage and not trying to bust up his marriage and telling him to leave his wife, and leave his family. Children need their father. I found that out a long time ago. And I tried to hang around, but it didn't work for me. I was losing my mind. I thought I was going crazy. But you don't need to do that. You don't need to get depressed about those things. And sometimes you will get depressed. The depression will take you to a place to where you don't want to be, and it'll take you to a place where you can't come back to where you need to be. Remember that. But a friend is where you trying to help him keep his wife and not take his wife. You trying to help your friend keep her husband and not take her husband. And that's what we find today. Life is different today, and it's not good. There are so many bad things that causes so many bad things in marriages and relationships. Kids are losing their mind. They don't know which direction that they're going in, and they don't know which end is up. They don't know who to turn to. A lot of things is happening with kids. So here we are in today's world, and there's just too many crazy things that's happening, okay? So I tell you what, once again, this is Rosey. I'm talking about life in general. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about you, possibly. Some things that we all need to do, try to understand a little bit more about. You got to keep your mind right, keep your heart right, keep God in your life. That's far and foremost, and try to keep on moving, okay? This is Rosey. I'm on my road, and I'm still walking. Have a good day. And if you like what I'm talking about, pass it on, comment, give me a thumbs up, and let's keep on talking about life in general. I'll see ya.